That's not supposed to sound like that, is it? What's up, everybody? In today's video, we are going to rebuild this AC compressor. This AC compressor came out of this lovely 2007 Chevy Impala. Before we jump into today's content, I'd like to remind everybody that although I am a mechanic, I am not your mechanic. I'm not responsible for any damage to yourself, your vehicle, improvement to your sex life. Everything in this video is for educational purposes only. Please see your technician for official mechanic advice. Let's get to it. Okay, first step is this T30. It's a Torx 30. That's for this center bolt right here. And as you can see, it'll just spin if you grab just a traditional ratchet. So I love using these impacts. There is a tool you can order on Amazon. I don't know if AutoZone or Harbor Freight offers it. If somebody can let me know in the comments, or let us know, let the people know, let the world have it. If they do offer the weird little three-way tool that holds it in place and you can spin it with the ratchet, or if you have an impact, that'll also get the job done. T30. Let's see what we got next. Okay. This looks like we got some shims and washers here. Shim washers. There'll be more on these later. Let's look at the kit, some of the parts I got. So far so good. Okay, let's set that aside. Let's just do a quick comparison here on the pulley and bearing, because this oh yeah, that bearing is, whew, that is toast, baby. You can see it. You can see the center is not spinning, and the bearing portion, it should be nice and quiet like this one. So that is, whew, that is toast. Okay, let's see what we got next. And looks like it's probably gonna be some snag ring pliers. Okay, so it looks like inside here in the center, we have one of these. They're called snap rings. And if you've never seen the tool for it, this is one example of a tool. I have been meaning to get rid of this one because this one has these little like Frankenstein T-bolt things, and sometimes it won't let me go in as deep. In this instance, it's not going to be an issue. Here, I'll show you. I'll pan the camera. But the idea with these is that when you squeeze, they open. So you get each of these little tips inside these holes, and then you squeeze. You see how it opens up, and that'll let you slide it out of whatever you got. Unless this is the reverse. Actually, this is the reverse. This is going to be the squeeze in to take out. So let me go get the other snap ring pliers. Okay. And these specific ones are so I can have the tips at different angles, have them straight like in this one, if I want them at an angle or whatever. But I would just get that in there, line it up with the holes, and squeeze, and hopefully we can get this snap ring out of here. Okay, silly me, I didn't see that there was the bigger snap ring is actually here on the outside. I was already going for the one inside. So let's start on the outer layer first, huh? What do you guys think about that? So the smaller one is probably the one inside. Alright, so let's go. So I was correct on getting these the first time go. Let's see. Hopefully you guys can see that live. And I just kind of, nope. Here comes the fun part. I'll probably need a pulley puller is the tool that usually comes next. Am I going to do this the correct way for you guys and get a pulley puller? Nope. I'm going to do this the backyard way. And you can see it's shifting. Yep, feel free. Let me have it. Get mean, get nasty in the comments. He's not using a pulley puller. Get him! Let's see, where's the replacement part? So technically at this point, I could actually start reassembly with the replacement components because the electrical coil, which I did get a new one, so I am still going to replace that. But this electrical coil was still doing its job. But I got all new parts. I'm already this far in, so you know, I'm just gonna get her done. I'm just gonna knock it out. So, anyways, this was the noise-a-rooney you can hear versus this one. So yeah, let's stitch this and get this new one on there. Okay, next up, let's see. I think there should be one more snap ring for the coil. And I can actually see the shape of it. It is this one. So I am glad to say that the kit I got does come with all these. Oh no! All right, note to self: I will be going to the parts store because these tips are not long enough, and the T-bolts, the Frankenstein portion is in the way. So, all right, time to go get some longer snap ring pliers, and I will be right back. Okay, and we're back. As you can see, the ones that I got hopefully will allow me to, oh boy, here come the punnies, penetrate deeper into the holes. Womp, womp, womp. Alright, so let's see here. Oh, I got part of that loose, but it didn't come all the way. You guys are watching this live. What the? Ah! Wow, apparently I don't know how to set up snap rings. He's coming apart on me. Okay, this large Marge. Ah, ha, 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 ha. Okay, this large snap ring was the next portion. I did go get these longer ones compared to these. I still prefer these because these were thicker and more stable. So I advise against this style because it was kind of flimsy and this part kept wanting to slide out, and I don't know, maybe I'm too stupid to set this up correctly, but anyways, they did get the job done. I struggled just a little bit to because this is on there pretty tight, but anyways, that's off there. That's good. Some side notes: if your AC compressor keeps blowing fuses, and you know it's the AC compressor, you process of elimination, or however you diagnosed it, or somebody told you, this is actually the part that usually causes the fuse to blow. So this kit will alleviate your air compressor blowing fuse issues. And as you can see, that came right off. As soon as the snap ring's off of there, this will come right off. Okay, so some side notes on the snap rings. There are some indentations where you can see right here that's where the snap ring should fall into. So when we put the new coil piece on there and the new snap ring, that's going to fall on there. And then additionally, after we put the pulley / bearing on there, there's another indent for that outer snap rings. So when you're putting these back together, make sure those snap rings are inside these indents and not on the outer rim, because that'll give you a false illusion. You got to make sure they're inside these little indents going all the way around. Okay, I'm gonna do some cleanup and start putting this back together. Okay, so this one does have like a little guide dowel pin, whatever you want to call it, right here on my right thumb. That goes right in there in that little slot. I don't know that I would have revealed that without cleaning the goop off, but also a side note on what this could potentially fix for you is if your AC clutch is not engaging. Usually this is the electrical component that will allow the clutch to engage. And then when you hear that, so when this component fails, that'll also stop your AC clutch from engaging. So this kit will also fix that problem. Okay, where is those new snap ring at? That's the bolt. Also, it does not matter which direction these snap rings are facing. The most important part is that it's in that little indentation that I showed you guys earlier. So the hopes with this tool is that this spreads it open enough. See that it's relaxed, and that it can go around, get around that rim and get on that indentation. Okay, so these did ultimately get the job done. It was a lot of fighting, a lot more than I would have liked to have done. And what I ended up doing was kind of not using them exactly as intended. So they're supposed to go in both holes and then extend out. But this, the maximum these snap ring pliers would go, these specific ones anyways, was actually not enough to open up the ring enough to get over the rim, the silver part. So I had to get a little bit creative, and this is the part that got annoying and painful, and it took me a while. I actually ended up putting it about here, and then, ow, oh, look at that, the tool just broke. So this is a cheap set. But anyways, so I ended up putting it here so I could get more opening out of it, and so while it was set in there, that's when I opened it up as much as I could by using this method, and then pushing it in there. But it was a little painful because every time these snapped out of place, this was kind of snap up a little bit and snap my finger. So if you want to use a screwdriver or something else, or maybe get some thick gloves while you hold with one finger as you try to extend it. Or if you're more creative than I am, or buy a really good set of snap ring pliers, because these did not, I mean, they made the cut barely, but definitely not a set I would use again. In fact, I might return these because they broke mid-video. Anyways, moving on. Okay, so when you slide the new pulley bearing pulley on, make sure there's clearance for the snap ring, like the one we discussed about earlier. Okay, now before I go and put on the new snap ring and then this final piece, I gotta talk about this part before I forget. If when you put everything together, everything is spinning. See how the pulley? Oh, let's see if you can get a better. See how the pulley's spinning? If everything is spinning together, you have not put the proper amount of shims. What's supposed to happen, it's supposed to look like this. Either the outside spins or just the pulley spins, leaving the outside alone. Additionally, if you hear noise, that's not good. So you want to have it where this is just attached a little bit. So it's just kind of like that, where it's not making any noise where it spins and all that. So we'll talk about shims, the amount of shims washers you need, and hopefully we'll get the spacing down right, so there's no issues, because you do not want this on full time and spinning full time, because that will overcharge the crap out of your system, and wherever the blow off valve is, if there is one, that'll go off, and fun times. Nope. I do like these snap rings better. I just wish they had the longer tips. There we go. That one, oh, almost. Getting in the bag. Let's see if there's a part number in case you need to get these separately. I don't know if that's it down there. So that's for these little washer shim washers. Now that we got that snap ring in there, I can demonstrate real quick what I mean. Well, that is strange. I didn't put any of the washer shim washers in there. It looks like the clearance is just about right. So like I said, if you're spinning this and this whole front also spins, you definitely need to add a shim or two. So if you see this, that's no bueno, because at rest or disengaged, off, no power, whatever, it should be just the pulley spinning, no clutch. As soon as the clutch engages, then it's when everything spins. Oh, here we go. See if you hear a noise or anything like that. But that was me pressing it in. So usually this test is done without pressing any of this stuff in. I forget if there should be a gap here, distance in the gap between the clutch piece itself. If anybody knows what that gap measurement should be, actually, let me see if I can find it real quick for you guys. Oh, come on, line up on the shaft for me, will you? Okay. Okay, you can see the gap. It's still too much for my taste, actually. So I'm gonna go down to 1 washer shim, since there was already a gap on there enough with none. Well, maybe not enough with 1. I'm just gonna leave 1 of these on there, and that's probably gonna be enough. 1 brand new one off the kit. You get it too close, you're gonna get a clutch that engages all the time, no bueno, and you get it too far, and it will never engage. Also no bueno. Okay. So for those of you just winging it, that's about what you're looking for right there. You can kind of see some sunlight going through, but the semi-official number you want, you get a feeler gauge, that's what you want right there. So that way you know you have enough that when the coil engages, this will push it in and everything grabs and you'll be good, and this will spin freely on its own without it engaging unwantingly. So all right, let's put this back in the car, put some refrigerant back in there, and let's see how it goes. I'll give you guys some results. I won't be able to give you longevity results from this kit, of course, but I will be able to at least, demonstrate that the bearing isn't all noisy and crappy, and that it at least produces cold air. And you guys can maybe down the road provide some comments. Hey, I use this kit, and it's been running strong, 50,000 miles, 20,000 miles, whatever. But let's go put this back in the car and let's see what she can do. Okay, I'm gonna finish this video in the dark. We see we got this little thermometer here. We're gonna stick this in the vent. I actually did just stick it in there, so I'm kind of warming it up here by hand. Let me walk you guys over to the compressor, show you that it's off. And the little engine there going on. So there we got. Hey. So there's a compressor right here. And this is the new. That's the new piece. I'm gonna have an assistant go on the driver's side here. I'm just gonna yell, turn on the AC, turn off the AC, and we'll see this clutch kick on and off. Let me get the driver in place. Okay, so we got lovely assistant in place. All right, on. There you go, that's money right there. Off. Okay, so we got that on and off. Okay, so let's take the show inside the Impala itself. Go ahead and hit that AC button. And I just heard it click on. So we'll stick that in there. We'll give it a minute or so. If you want to fast forward a few seconds. I can tell you that it is already feeling colder, but there's a difference between telling somebody, oh yeah, it feels cold, and objectively being able to show, I don't know if you guys can tell, but the needle's already dropping. And it's dropping pretty fast too. We haven't even driven the car, it's just been sitting here since I did the work. So I imagine once we get everything nice and cycled and driving down the highway and all that, I'm sure the performance on the AC will increase. Usually it tends to get better. But as you can see, not even 30 seconds, maybe 30 seconds in, it's already getting pretty close to the green. So just sitting here at idle, I definitely call this a victory. And it did actually kick on for me earlier in the heat. That's when I should have recorded this. But I saw a squirrel and went to go do some other things. And I was like, oh crap, I gotta finish recording before I put the car back together and upload this video for you guys. So I'm gonna go inside, maybe take some screenshots and show you guys where I got the kit. Maybe some other makes and models it may be compatible with, since this was the OEM compressor. Hopefully this video saved you guys some money. Yeah, good to go so far.